All right, hello everyone. We are going to get into it. Got a few people saying hello on the chat. Hello. Hey, Greg. Uninspiring Woolworth salad for lunch. um, Wonderful to hear that you are eating nice and healthy today, mate. Thanks for sharing that, and thanks for everyone for joining us. I hope everyone's had a cracking start to 2021. Thanks for making the time to join us today. And today we are talking about Google Ads retargeting. Pete, can you just give me a little thumbs up that you can see my screen? Awesome, cool. The tech is working. The tech is doing what it needs to do. I got the amazing Peter. I got the amazing Christy joining us today from our organisation, 5x5. If anything happens, stick in there. Pete's going to tell some awesome dad jokes. Christy might tell you a yarn or two, and then I'll be right back. But let's hope that doesn't happen. I'm going to keep this short and punchy, 15-20 minutes. I'm going to share with you some really actionable items that we have personally been using in the business, in and around Google Ads retargeting. Hands down, bang for buck. This is an amazing, amazing weapon in the digital marketing arsenal. And I think if you've got a website, you should definitely be doing this. So I'm going to play you a quick little video, and this will generally explain what we are talking about today.
Hey, I'm John. Hi, I'm John. Hello, I'm John.
We should really get in touch with that John guy. Oh, hey, John.
So that is, in essence, what we are talking about today. Apart from that stellar acting, thank you, Pete. Thank you. Really, it's what we're talking about today is a visitor comes through to your website, and this visitor may have come off the back of a Google search. They may have clicked on a Google ad. They may have punched in your web address into the address bar. Maybe they came from a social media post. However they found you, they landed on your website. So what we can do is we can place a unique identifier on that viewer's system that identifies them. Then disaster happens. They just happen to have Facebook open in another tab, and before you know it, they're down the cat video rabbit hole, and they've completely forgotten about you, your business, and the original thing that they started out by doing. What we can do is, through a little bit of sleuthing and following around, we can have your ads displayed on other websites as they then navigate through the internet. And this principle is ultimately called retargeting, or otherwise known as remarketing. And with these banner ads that are displayed on other websites, we can try and re-engage with the prospect so that they then come through to the website. Super, super powerful tool. To give you a physical example of a site where your banners could be displayed, this is a news-based publication, and you can see that throughout all the happy news in the world, there are a bunch of ads that are displayed. So we've got a big horizontal one. We've got what they call a skyscraper style one here. And as we sort of navigate through the content, you can see there's lots of different ads, and you can see the stuff that I've been looking at and I've been being retargeted by. So this is an example of where your ads could physically be displayed. The Brisbane Times is part of the Google Display Network and basically serves up ads. So in summary, show targeted ads to users who've already visited your website and displayed some sort of intent. So why would you do this? There are a bunch of different reasons, but ultimately the number one thing that it's doing is it's keeping your brand top of mind. And I like to think that this is just like a billboard on the side of the road. And the thing with billboards is you're flying down the motorway at 110 kilometers an hour, and obviously you sort of see stuff, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. But in your subconscious, you're absorbing all these subliminal marketing messages, and this is no different to that. So obviously on a website, people can get distracted. This is a gentle reminder to finish what they started. Super, super powerful from a brand building perspective. You think about a billboard, it's really hard to define the ROI on that, in the fact that, you know, it's purely just a branding technique. The numbers show that 30% of consumers react positively or they're very engaged to retargeted ads, compared to say 11% who react negatively. So the positive far outweigh the negatives, and that's sometimes the objection that people get when we talk to them around this. They're like, "Oh, it's a bit creepy, it's a bit stalkerishy. I don't know how I feel about this." But generally, the overarching theme is people positively react to that. What we're doing is we're enticing visitors to come back for more. So you've already done the hard work. You've already optimized your website. You've paid for the click. You've sent the email campaign. You've already done the hard work to get them to the website. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, it didn't convert. We now have another opportunity to land them back on the page that they've come from. We are turning a warm lead into, ideally, a closed deal. What this can do is this can increase your conversion rates. It means we can be hyper focused with the ads based on specific products and services. So anything you can track in Google, you can display ads for. Google Analytics, you can display ads for. So an example would be, we as an organization, 5x5, we build websites, we do search engine optimization, we do web development, we do a whole bunch of different things, right? If someone looks at a specific page on our website, we can then serve up ads that are very specific to one service. So the end outcome is conversion rates actually increase more the more times the actual ads are being displayed. So you don't display your ad once, it'll be many, many times. And that's ultimately how sales works, in the fact that any big ticket purchases, you need all these different touch points over time. And this is what remarketing allows you to do in a campaign. The best thing about this, it is super cost effective. And I'm going to show you some examples of some different campaigns that we are running. Remarketing clicks are ridiculously cheap in the scheme of things. So if you're running a paid search campaign, they can be very expensive depending on the industry. Industries like law, any sort of that professional service style stuff, people are paying like, $10, $20, $30 a click. It can be ridiculously expensive. The thing with retargeting ads, basically we can get that cost down to anywhere between half to 100 times less. And I'm going to show you some stats around that with some different businesses. So can I get a little thumbs up? Is this all sort of making sense? If you've got any burning questions, please jump in the chat and feel free to fire them through. Now, we are doing this. We eat our own dog food. This is what generates us results. And just generally, when we talk to clients, they're like, "Yeah, I see your ads all the time out there on the internet." So this is our campaign. It's taken place. This is just a snapshot of a week. And in this week, we've had almost 12,500 impressions. So definition of an impression is basically an ad being displayed. Off that, it's an eyeball looking at your ad. Off that, then we've generated 25 clicks at an average cost per click of $1.42. So the cost for that week, it's been $35. Okay, so for 12,500 eyeballs on the 5x5 brand, it's cost me $35. Pretty awesome in my view. We look at something like a childcare centre. So this is a childcare centre in Melbourne. This is actually from the start of the year, so the 1st of Jan through the 20th of Jan. And they don't do a lot of volume in terms of search traffic through their website. They haven't generated a heap of impressions, but still almost 1,000 eyeballs on the brand, 2 clicks, average cost per click, 34 cents, a total cost for the month for 1,000 eyeballs on their brand, 67 cents. Pete?
Yeah, John, Evelyn's just asked the question, is $1.42 good?
Well, it's completely going to vary from industry to industry, segment to segment. Just depends on how competitive the market is that you're operating in. So another way of answering that would be, so this is for a mechanic. This mechanic is based in Sydney. You can see he was obviously away up until probably the end of the first week in January, and that's when he's turned his campaign back on. Okay. Since then, through to basically the 20th of Jan, he's had almost 60,000 impressions, 60,000 eyeballs on his brand. This has resulted in almost 300 clicks through to his website with an average cost per click of 21 cents. So for $61, I reckon that's a pretty amazing investment in terms of the volume of branding and just the subliminal messaging. You know, new year, should really get my car service. Oh, I really got to book in for that car service. Oh, I still haven't booked in for the car service. The engine warning light's on, right? This is the stuff that's going to keep you front of mind to actually get the outcome that this mechanic wants.
So John, on that, Evelyn's just followed up with, she finds her Facebook advertising ranges between say 80 cents to $2. Just wondering how it compares, any ideas? And then Mark's chimed in with, $61 for 57,000 impressions of the clicks.
Yeah, so Mark, that is a fantastic question. Ultimately, you're not paying for the impressions, so you're not paying for the ad to be displayed. You only pay when there is an action, i.e., a click. And it depends on the sort of campaign you're running, but largely the campaigns that we've been configuring, they're an action-based campaign where you only pay for the outcome, which makes this system even better in the fact that you're actually not spending a heap of budget on the impressions to actually have your ads displayed. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question, Mark. In terms of Evelyn, like it's going to vary from platform to platform, and this principle still works. The intent that I'm sort of talking around today is through the Google Ads ecosystem. So yeah, it's just test and measure, exactly what you said. Might take some testing. So the general framework for this is we want to tag someone, we then want to follow them, we want to convert them. From a tagging perspective, if you're a website owner, you should have Google Analytics installed, 100%. Then through Google Analytics, we connect Google Analytics to the Google Ads ecosystem. And Google Analytics, anyone who's been into Google Analytics knows there is so much depth to that, which makes it really, really awesome. We are building a thing in Google Analytics called an audience. And think about this as like an email list. It's basically a group of people that have done some stuff on your website. And the stuff that they have done could be they've visited specific pages, so you can segment people via, say, services or products, what they've actually done on your website. Even sort of demographic stuff, so like gender, age ranges, physical location. You can do all this stuff and you can build specific lists off that. And then non-converters. So say they get right up to the sales point and for whatever reason they don't take action, or they don't fill out the form, or they don't, complete your briefing form or whatever. we can then build a list of non-converters to say, hey, did we do something wrong? Can we re-engage? Click here or whatever. Anything you can track through Google Analytics, you can build a list off the back of. And then obviously when the user leaves, this is the unique identifier, we can retarget them. So without being too creepy like this, we can follow them around. So we're building a thing called a display campaign through the Google Ads ecosystem. It allows us to upload 10 different shape, size banners. And you just set a small budget each day. And this is where the testing and measuring you came into, Evelyn. It's just really, it's going to vary in terms of how much traffic you're generating through the website and how competitive that traffic is, i.e. how many other people are bidding on that traffic. And then, as I showed you on the Brisbane Times website, the banners display as the user navigates through the internet. Here's some examples of the different banners that are displayed. So you get long sort of horizontal ones, skinny horizontal ones. They call these skyscrapers. You get square ones, all the different shapes and sizes. This is another one for a burger joint, making me hungry. It really, if you just want these to be on brand, they should be consistent with the look and the feel of your website. So there's a continuous sort of branding experience across all the different platforms. And then what we want to do is we want to convert. So this is the other cool thing that you can do. And e-commerce leverage this really, really well in the fact that if someone's looking at a specific product on a shop, that's where you can say retarget them. And you've probably seen this through flights, in the good old days when people got on planes or any sort of e-commerce style stuff. You can provide an incentive for them to return through a coupon or an offer. So maybe you provide, like you've got a coupon set up in your cart and it's like, hey, we want a second chance. If you do, enter this coupon code, which is going to give you 10% off or something like that. Provide an offer. And ultimately what we're trying to do is we're going to drive them back to the specific page on the website. So in summary, keep your brand top of mind, entice visitors to return, and then try and convert them. And it's actually pretty simple when you sort of break it down. Any questions? Any feedback? Any comments? Is anyone doing this? Is anyone already doing this in their business? No? Oh, Evelyn, you ask a wonderful question. Evelyn asked, does 5x5 offer this as a service? So if it all sounds too hard, and there are sort of, probably the tricky part of this is just the moving parts from the Google ecosystem. And then obviously just from a general sort of design perspective, putting together the right formats and all that. So we have a done for you service. Essentially what we're going to do is we connect Google Analytics to Google Ads. We'll design 10 times banner formats. We'll upload these to the Google Ads platform and then do basic configuration of the retargeting campaign. So based on this would be an example would be like a consulting style business. This is what we do. And it's really more branding focused rather than getting sort of sophisticated from an e-commerce perspective. From an e-commerce perspective, there's just a little bit more involved from a setup perspective. So this is a basic package. If anyone has specific requirements in and around an e-commerce side of things, more than happy to have a chat. Just to manage expectations, the Google, this doesn't include the Google Ads budget. So you're the account owner of your Google Ads account. You are responsible for managing this campaign moving forward. Essentially what we're doing is initial setup and the configuration. So the price for this is $500 plus GST. We guarantee an awesome outcome and just showing you, that it's just another like feather in your hat. If you've got a website, it is an absolute no-brainer that you just layer this in, because you will have people saying, hey Mark, I saw your banners on the internet there, and great job and all this sort of stuff. So that's pretty much the process. That's the link. Pete, I think Pete's put that in the chat. If you've got specific questions, just sing out. I'm more than happy to talk through that. That's pretty much what we wanted to cover off on. So if anyone does have any questions.
There's a couple there. Warren's just asked, John, do you do this as part of your ongoing marketing or give your audience a rest occasionally?
So there's a little bit of depth to that question. In terms of the list, you can set timeframes on that list. So that you can basically have anyone on a list from 30 days right up to 540 days, which does seem like a really long time. As part of that, there's a thing called frequency capping as well. So a really important thing is like that creepy video at the start. Hey, I'm John. Hey, I'm John. If I continue to do that over and over again, you'd probably take out a restraining order against me, right? So in a similar fashion, you don't want your banner ads to be displayed too often. So there's a daily cap, probably 3 to 4 sort of views per day. And it just depends on what the offer is and how often it should be displayed.
John, also, Evelyn's just chimed in. Brilliant. Could we pay an additional fee to receive training on how to do it ourselves next time?
Yeah. We can figure out something there, Evelyn. If what we might do is just reach out and set up a call, if that's okay. Cool. Well, that was the lunch and learn for today. Hopefully that's been helpful. Can I get a little thumbs up if that's been helpful? That's triggered some thoughts, some ideas around how you might integrate that into your digital marketing. Cool. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for taking the time out of your valuable days. And we're actually just a general format. We will be running these in a fortnightly session. So we promise to deliver awesome value, just straight to the point. This is the stuff that's getting us results and outcomes in our business. So stay tuned, and we will get in a real rhythm in and around these style of webinars. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Warren. Thanks, Caroline. Thanks, Selena. We'll leave it at that. Have an awesome end to your day. Thanks, Scotty.